Hey friends, Rob Phoenix, Powwow guy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Gorgeous day in South Central Pennsylvania, 80 something degrees. It is 2:46 p.m. Wonderful day. Today was take your kid to work day, so Jasani and I worked until noon and then we just stopped for the day. So it was a fun day. But came home and did a bunch of work out here. Had to drag the hose out and fill up some stuff and water some things. But since it's time for me to start working on my herb garden, I am going to plant a few veggies in it. Uh, but I thought I'd give the quick tips to planting and growing like the Pennsylvania Dutch use. It's no, it's no secret that Pennsylvania Dutch are among the best, some of the best farmers in the United States. Um, and there's just a few simple tricks that the Pennsylvania Dutch always followed and still do to this day. And that's planting and growing by the phase of the moon. This is really simple, so I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. So let's start with the new moon. The new moon is when you don't see the moon in the sky at all. Some people call well, let's not get too crazy. The new moon. So you have about 3 days. You have like the day before the new moon, the actual new moon, and the day after. That's when you want to start like prepping your soil. And that just means like dig out where you want your garden or um, just kind of working up the soil, cultivating it a little bit. And it's also a good time to plant. The only thing you really want to plant during this time are uh like leafy things, annuals that are green, I guess you could say. Annuals meaning annuals that have green leafy parts to them. I know that sounds weird, but like you think annual flowers have a lot of green leaves and such, but think about vegetables that are green and leafy. That would be like lettuce and spinach. Um, Green and leafy could also be celery. So green leafy things that are once and done that don't come back every year, annuals. But that also includes your flowers, like your little geraniums and marigolds and such that you want to plant around. The new moon, those 3 days of the new moon is a good time to plant annuals of whatever kind. But when it comes to vegetables, it's green leafy is the key. Uh, then once you start seeing the moon in the sky as the moon is growing or building or waxing, yeah, that's when you want to start planting your above ground veggies. And as the moon is building, it's pulling that moisture from deep within the earth up towards the surface. And so that's why it's a good time to start planting things that will grow like at surface level and then above, because that moisture is being pulled up. And the moon is building, so that pull is to pull it upward. The full moon is when you want to plant perennials. So think new is annual, full is perennials. So perennials obviously are those things like bulbs and such that come up year after year, but it also includes like edible things that are perennials, like apple trees is what comes to mind right away. I can't think of anything else right now. Maybe blueberry bush. They're hard though, but um, yeah, like apple trees, so things that grow fruit year after year that you don't have to plant every year. That just comes back every year, like a perennial, like an apple tree. Um, so that's the 3 days of the full moon. Then as the moon starts to wane after like immediately, like 3 days after the full moon, basically, you want to start planting the low ground crops, those root crops like potatoes and carrots and radishes, whatever like grows beneath the ground that you have to dig up. Because as the moon wanes, that moisture seeps deeper into the earth again. And so it's best for planting things that grow deeper within the earth, not 6 to 10 feet deep. You know what I'm talking about. And then don't wait too long. A mistake sometimes people make, and I've made it too, is waiting too long during the waning moon to plant my below ground stuff. Like you want to do that as soon as the moon starts waning. Like 1, 2, 3 days tops after the full moon, start planting those below ground crops. Because if you go too far, too close to the dark moon, your stuff's not going to grow. It's just not going to grow nice because that dark moon, new moon time is really for like fertilizing, weeding, Yeah, weed your garden, fertilize your garden, try and use organic stuff. Because you don't want to put chemicals in. But yeah, just keep it real simple. So hopefully that made sense to you. I think it's very easy to follow. So just take some notes if you want to. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. Good luck with your planting. We have a new moon coming up in a couple days, and hopefully, well, this weekend I will complete the preparation of that little veggie and herb garden, and then some of the things I can start planting right away in the new moon. Otherwise, it's all above ground stuff, so I'll have to get it all planted like next week, before we get too close to the full moon. So there you go. Hope that was helpful. That's it. Enjoy the weather, if nice weather if you have it. Otherwise, God bless you guys. Love you, and we'll talk again soon.